Hey everyone, I'm Carolyn from Triangle Mentor and welcome to our channel. Today we'll be making a miniature bakery from two of the Dollar Tree mini pet shops from the toy section. The Dollhouses were not available in any of my local Dollar Trees and I wasn't able to find them online, so we're going to give this a try. And it does have these doors that open, or windows maybe that open, and you can see the pets inside. And they're a little bit tough to get out. I didn't want to force them or anything, so what I'll do is I'm going to take this back piece off, and it's just taped on, and it's a very thin piece of cardboard which could still be used as a packing. It does have this pattern on it, and then everybody's out now, and I'm there. These are just so cute, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to save these and use these in another craft, but I just think they're adorable. And this is the back, what it looks like from the back. You could push the doors open from the back piece. I wasn't sure if I was going to double these up or if I was just going to leave them single for now. So I decided to go with just the single and using the two, one on one side, or one on each side I should say. And just to rough them up a bit, I've got this 150 sandpaper, and this was just what I had in my arsenal of supplies. Just gonna not go crazy, but just take a little bit on the bottom and then sand all around the sides and the edges. I have this Acrylology Deep Brown from Dollar Tree, and I use that a lot. It's pretty liquidy. I'm actually starting to run out of it, but I made my own gingerbread color with some white latex paint that I had. And then I did get a lot. I couldn't get the windows out without almost breaking them, so what I did was I just took this alcohol after with cotton swabs, and I went through and I removed a lot of the paint. I didn't have to get all the paint off of the windows because I'm going to make them look like snow. And then I made these two back pieces and just traced them out, and this is some striped, well, I'm going to use that for wallpaper, and I got the pattern from Creative Fabrica, and I'll link that below. I'm just going to match these up and I'll tape them on and onto the back of these pieces of cardboard. That is one way to do it. And later on, what I decide to do is I use this 1/16 basswood, and I got this from Michael's a long time ago. I remembered that I had it, and I put it in my laser and I cut all of the files out. I measured everything and I cut all the files out. That's just a thin piece of another balsa wood that I had, or basswood. And then this is just the rest of the cutout, because I had to go back in. I was using bits and pieces of what I had, and then I was using the 12 by 12 basswood from Michael's. And then here is my stack of pieces. I put them away, and I've got my trusty Gorilla clear glue. I made these little stands because what I wanted to do was have little cookies being baked. So I needed some stands to put the cookies on, and I had to raise the stands up a little bit. I'm piecing these together with the Gorilla Glue, and I'm just doing the best that I can. The Gorilla Glue worked really good. I can't say Gorilla Glue today. The Gorilla Glue worked really great. And I was able to reposition it and also get it to, it wasn't dry all of a sudden, so I could move it around a little bit. And then I have just some watered down paint. I put some water and that brown paint from Dollar Tree in that, and I just made my own stain. And then here's what I'm going to be using for the cookies. This is from Temu, and I just happened to get that early on, one of the things that I remembered to do, because sometimes with Temu it takes a long time and things take a while to get there. Even though it's a little bit faster now, it still seems like forever. Anyway, I'm taking that Gorilla Glue, and I've got tiny little gingerbread cookies, and these are typically for fingernails. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to line them up. I made a little tray that looks like a cutting board, and then I glued that to the bottom. And now the reason why that I glued that to the bottom was because you can't see the top of that piece. and I did make them smaller later, but this is what I started out with. And these two top rows are different dimensions than the two bottoms, and I didn't know that until later, but these worked out really good. They're 2 inches by 1 inches, and that's what they look like inside. And then I wanted 2 of the little trays to look like they were being baked, that they were getting prepared to be baked. So I'm making those silvers. They look like they are getting ready to go into the oven. And then I've got some khaki paint from Apple Barrel, and that's from Walmart. And I just want to dry brush a little bit here on the top. I made a little dough and I want to put a rolling pin in it. So I'm taking that paint just to give it a little bit of color. And then I take my second one, and what I did was I 3D printed that gingerbread man, and I'll put the file down below. I wanted it to look like some of the cookies were being stamped out. And of course, this is nowhere near to be of scale. I'm just a crafter. So some of my stuff is just not to scale. But this is Aleene's Clear Gel Tacky Glue, and I have been loving this. I do love my Gorilla Glue, but this has been working out really great as well. I feel that I have more time for it to set up, but the Gorilla Glue is perfect as well. But this I really like. I'm going to hold him in there, and then I'm taking some of the glue around the sides because I want it to look like powder, like flour. So I have a piece of chalk here and just a knife. I'm getting some of that chalk onto the dough, and it will make it look like it's just freshly being baked and cut out. And then I just swirl it around a little bit on there, and then the other dough, I'm going to take that and do the same thing with the flour, and this is how that looks. I'm really excited about it. It really looks to me like it's been, in the process of being made and baked. Perfect. I just love it. They're so tiny. And this is a little 3D print that didn't go well, so I ended up cutting off the ends and just using that rounded, or the that part there that I'm holding. I end up using that. I did try to make little handles and they just were too tiny. So I have these little foam circles that I got from Dollar Tree, and little spheres, and I glued them on, and then I'm going to glue that into the dough so that it looks like a rolling pin. And then I have some pearls here. Those are also from Dollar Tree a long time ago. I'm going to start to decorate this tree because I want to have an atrium, an entrance to the bakery, and the bakery is going to be two-sided. So I'm taking my Gorilla Glue here and just kind of holding those pearls in place, and the Aleene's Tacky Glue could be used for this too. And you'll see that I have a little peppermint on the bottom, and later what I'm going to do is change that out, and I'm going to put the air dry clay, the pink air dry clay underneath it. That would have looked really good, but I just wanted the pink under there. And this, I have all different size pearls, so I'm going to take those and put them and get them all glued in. Now these are from that Temu collection that I had, but here's what it looks like with the pearls. And that little pile is from Temu, what we've been using for the fingernails. And here's some red acrylic paint from Dollar General, and I mixed up some pink, and I thought it would look good. I noticed that this has an awning on the top, and I thought I would paint that and separate that out to look even more like a bakery. I have latex, white latex mixed with it because I feel that that's been staying. And then I wanted to give the bakery a name, and I made a sign on the laser. Here's some tiny little, I guess they're caviar beads in a way, no hole beads. They're really, really little. I didn't realize that they were going to be this little when I ordered them from Temu, but I do like them. I really feel that they look great on this little sign. I would go work my way through, and I do a couple of layers of glue and then go back again with the little beads. I didn't really have a measurement for the back piece, And this was kind of flimsy. I tried gluing it together. I tried a couple of different things, and I ended up reinforcing it later. And here's Mod Podge. And I always use Mod Podge for paper. I'm making my own wallpaper. I'm going to put a coat of this Mod Podge on. Then I'll take that paper, the wallpaper, and glue that on. And for right now, everything is pieced together. But if I had the dimensions of all of this in my mind from the beginning, I could have made it one whole piece. But this was in the making, and it was just an ongoing dynamic process. And I'm just securing that down. And I probably could have gotten away with not having a seam, but you're not really going to see it. So little by little, we'll get this figured out. And then I'm taking that little extra piece. Another part of an awning is going to go there, a lower awning that is going to separate the two little pet stores or two bakeries. And then I'm just going over this so that I can Mod Podge it and make it last. And I want to have this for years to come. So I'm also even putting a little vinyl floor in, and I cut those out, measured and cut those out. And then now as that's drying, I'll go back to the roof here, I'm trying to think of what I just called this, awning. And I have some of this puff paint. It's shiny, and it's by Tulip. They changed the name of this. I think it's 3D puff paint now. I can't even remember what it was before, but I know they changed the name. And then while that's wet, I'm taking some of my iridescent white glitter that I got from probably a long time ago, Michael's maybe, Walmart. And then here is some sugar. It's fake sugar. I got this on Temu, and if I can find that link, I'll link it below. I had 3 different kinds, and I was just experimenting with all of them. But I do love that chunky look that it creates. Chunky sugar. And I've got some Model Magic from Dollar Tree, and I just rolled out a little snake, and I kind of made it bumpy. And what this will be is the snow around the window or windows. And because there's that little opening, we just go through, and pretty much what I did was I just ignored it and made believe it wasn't there. And later on, I just don't even think it showed really. I'll go through and I'll finish all of these little snakes, and we'll put them in each window. And then here we are again here, and puff paint is the actual name. I'm just going to make some snow, and I don't want to just leave the windows like that. Then I have some sand from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put that sand in there and be really careful, because I did, after the fact, dumped a lot more in. So I'm mixing that up with that tulip or puff paint. I do need a little bit more, and you just get the texture that you want. It's anything that you want to do. If you want it smoother, you can do that. If you don't want it, you could just do the puff paint and paint it on. I just wanted some kind of snow that I could control. And then I'm putting that on there, and I like the way that sand gives it like a gritty look. And also, while I'm putting that on, the snow on, I did see later on that there was a little awning in the middle, and you can see I painted that pink. I didn't notice it before, and I was looking at all the little features of it, and I noticed it had an awning, so I painted those. And then here it is with all of the snow. And then also that mat underneath I got from an Amazon haul, which is kind of like Temu, but it's Amazon's new competition maybe for it. I don't know. But anyway, I got it from the Amazon haul. I'm putting the little stands in here, and I am going to glue those in, but I'm getting an idea of what I need to do. I'll glue the bottom pieces in and just put some hot glue. And then with that flooring is covered with Mod Podge too, so it's very easy to pull stuff out if you need to. But I did want to secure it a little bit with just some hot glue. And then I'm going to put the rest in, and here's how they look. I'm just so excited with the way that they look inside. They look so real. It looks just like a little bakery. And then I decided to do some embellishments. And that's a pink straw that I had from Dollar Tree. It's a flamingo. Or flamingo straws. And then here's some lights from Dollar Tree. And they have these around Christmas. I decided to secure them. I didn't want them floating around in there. So I just wound them around and hot glued them, not on the light, but on the wire. And then I'm going to do the other side also. Here we'll take the hot glue and I'm going to now glue the back wall onto the pet store. And we'll just put that in place. I've got my finger things on because I don't know what I'm going to end up touching. So that's glued on. Now, because of the instability of the back wall, I did end up getting measurements and going back to the laser and cutting this out on 1/8 of an inch. This was a bit wobbly on the 16th inch basswood. So I had some maple that was 1/8 inch, and I went in and I'm gluing that to the back, and it really ended up giving it some stability. It was bowing in, and of course things aren't going to be totally square. It's just a craft, so we have fun and we just do the best that we can to make things meet. I'm going to do some clamping because see how it bows a little bit, and I want that back piece to really hold that in place. And now I've got more embellishments that I'm working on. I painted this with that gingerbread color. I saved the gingerbread color. I went around, I used Gorilla Glue here for this. I could have used the Aleene's glue as well. And I'm just going around the border of this sign. This is another caviar beads, no-hole caviar beads that have been around their glass. I haven't been able to use them for anything, but I wanted them. So I figured I would use them for this sign, and it would give it some type of candy-ish look and maybe even a little bit lit up. As these were interesting to work with, I probably wouldn't have put them on flat paper, maybe one of those little pink trays or something, so that they didn't wander around so much. Eventually I get them glued into place, and here more embellishments. I had these snowflakes, and that was from that, I believe it was from the Amazon haul. I'm not really positive if it was from Temu, but I'll look them up. And I'm just gluing them into place. I glitter them, lots of glitter. This is the top of the middle awning that's going to connect everything. I'm just blobbing this glue on because I'm going to be using spackle later, and I'm going to be putting a lot of glue on here to hold this in place. And I'm just going to wait until that glue dries. It's very messy. I'm going to secure these edges because they didn't meet up totally. I did the measurements the best that I could, and then I figured I would glue and spackle and glitter would make everything look good. And I didn't even paint the bottom, I forgot to. So what I'm going to do here is just glue in, sorry about my hair, but I'm just going to glue in the bottom piece too so it doesn't come out. And I'm not going to do a totally crazy job or anything, I'm just getting it in there. And we'll glue this side over here. And this is your craft too. So you're going to do this your way, or anyway, it could be done with cardboard. It could be done with mat board, foam core, anything that you have around the house. It doesn't have to be out of the wood, and it doesn't have to be the things that I use. And I've got my spackle DAP Fast and Final, and it's lightweight. And then I've got my little bag here with my tiny star. I use this cup just to hold it up nice and tall. And then I'm going to put my spackle in, and we'll get that going. and then I'm just gonna mush it down to the end. Special words here. Milk it down to the end. All right, and then we have that all set up, and this area I'm going to cover up with this extra glue, or cover the extra glue with this spackle, and I'm just bringing it along and just kind of wiggling it a little bit, and then I'm going to let that dry. I have the little Sweets Bakery sign that I'm going to glue to the front, but I'm going to wait for most of that to dry. And then we have our wreaths, tiny little wreaths. Those are from Amazon, and those the other embellishments there, the peppermints, they are from Temu last year. And I'm just gluing those together, or gluing those peppermints in place. And I just put 3, and I did paint the ribbon on there because I wanted it that magenta color, and I used a magenta metallic-y color for that. And you'll also see some gummy bears and little other embellishments, like little scoops there, and I made those out of resin. But the gummy bears I had from Dollar Tree. They were in the little jewelry section. All right, and just a lot of extra little touches. I have these are that Temu haul that I did a while back, and I had a lot of these left over, and I thought it just needed a little something. I didn't want to put the gummy bears down there because I figured it would cover up the little poles that I had there, the striped poles. So this was small enough in its little clay slices. And then I wanted a door on the inside. So I made some stickers, and that door is from Creative Fabrica, and I'll link that below. I did the cardstock, the smart, I think it's called Smart Cardstock from Cricut, and I did a print then cut. I did make I used up part of the page. What I wanted to do was take this and have 2 little doors, so in the atrium it looked like you could enter in one side and then enter through the other in the little atrium. I wanted the atrium to look open, and you know, some of those stores when they're downtown and everything have that little atrium and a tree inside. So I was trying to do that, and then the lighting was a little bit challenging for this part, because I needed the thin part of the lighting to go through the bottom, because I didn't leave a whole lot of room. I wasn't really going to light the tree, and then I changed my mind. So I'm pulling that through. That thicker part of the wire won't really go through. I didn't leave enough room. So I'm going to roll those lights onto the tree, or put the lights onto the tree after I get everything taken care of. And then I'm just taking a pencil here just so I have a guideline of where I want to put everything back down. And I have a little base. It's about 10 inches long, and I'm not sure how wide, but I just wanted a base so that I could have everything secure and put together. And I painted that white. I'm going to decorate that in a little bit. What we're doing here is just, I'm going to finally glue the little pet stores down, or now it's a bakery. So I'm going to glue those little bakery pieces down and position it the best that I can, trying to use the pencil marks. And it did the glue kind of did catch before I could really move it around, but it was fine. And we get the basic idea here. And this is the atrium floor, and I have 2 little skewer sticks that I painted and I put to the edge. And because that was, you know, there's areas that don't match up perfectly, and I just wanted it to look finished. So when I slide this in, I do push down and give it a little bit of pressure, and I get some glue there, so I'm just going to rub that off. And then the tree is all set, and I'm going to pull that wire all the way through so I have all the lights that I need. And I'm going to try, I made that star as a 3D print. I'll also link that below, but I just shrunk it down to the size that I needed. I wanted it to look like a cookie cutter. And then what we'll do is we'll tie this or twist this in as tight as we can. And then as we get to the end, and there's that air dry clay that I told you about, the pink, I made the bottom so it could stand up. And then I'm just gluing one little bead for the light. Now I'm taking some glue. Now that I have the tray in place, I'm taking some glue. I'm going to, and I wish I wouldn't have done glue there, but I have this from Dollar Tree last year, or maybe even a couple years ago, and I wanted to really put some heavy glitter on the sides here so that it looked like it snowed and that it was covered with snow. So I go back through, and I do have a little bit on the, and next time definitely what I would do is a way larger piece of paper, because I had a heck of a cleanup there to get that going. But at least I had some parchment paper over it. And then I just take it and sprinkle it on, and then that'll glue itself down. Then we have my Aleene's tacky glue again. Right here, this is what I wish I didn't do. I don't think I needed, well, actually, my mistake. I am gluing because I'm going to put down my spackle. So I took the Aleene's glue after I wiped off the snow that I didn't want. I put Aleene's back down, and then I'm just taking my little piping here and my lightweight spackle, and I'm going through. I wish I would have done a little bit bigger of an end, and I can't remember the name of what we call the end to the tube right now. Nozzle. And so instead of wiping that all off, I do a second line and a third line. And I figured with all of the glitter and all of the sugar, the fake sugar, everything should look, it should cover that up. So I'm going to go across a little bit. And I just wanted to cover the bottom of the wood piece. And then I let that dry probably for most of the day. And then came back in and put some sugar on it. And I do have a coat over the top of that I didn't show, but I put some of the Aleene's glue on top of the spackle after it was dry. And you can do it when it's wet too. And there we have it. I'm just so excited. And and there is the Sweets Bakery sign that I made that in addition to, I made that on Kittl actually. So I wanted to have a little sign showing the bakery, and then here is all of the cookies inside, and the tree in the atrium, and all of the dough rolled out, the cookies, and I'm waiting for it to get dark outside, and then I'm going to film the lights on, because it's very light in this front room now. So what we'll do is just show this part in the daylight, and then I'll have some video for the nighttime. But I'm so excited about everything and how it's just exactly what I wanted and then some. And then I'm showing a picture of the side here, and I just took the lights and I just kind of stacked them up a little bit. I want them accessible. I was going to put them in a little basket. Maybe I will later, but for now, I think that this is really good. And definitely stay tuned for more of this, because I'm going to put a village together with a previous house that I made from the Dollhouses, and I'm going to make a little village out of it. And here it is in the daylight with the lights on. They are a little bit hard to see, but you could definitely see the Christmas tree and the little door, and you could see the reflection of the lights behind, and the trees come up pretty far, so you don't really see the wallpaper, but you could see it in the atrium. And I just love that, and I love the little sign and the way everything came out. And keep in mind, especially through the holidays, if you're feeling a little down or overwhelmed, do some crafting and DIYing. It can really help you to reduce some anxiety and give you an outlet. We also have some journals linked below that can help keep you on track with your behavioral health and well-being. And here it is in the dark. How cool is that? Remember to come back to our channel for the Christmas Village video. If you do a makeover of the Dollar Tree Pet Shop, share the inspiration and tag us on Instagram, tranquil_mentor, or visit us on Facebook at Tranquil Mentor. If you are already one of our subscribers, welcome back and thanks for watching our video today. And if you're not a subscriber, welcome to our channel. And if you would be so kind to subscribe and like our video, it helps YouTube notice us a little more and it supports our channel and helps us to grow. And as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.